The business-to-business tax isn't the only new tax on the table. Mackenzie Frost is also taking a closer look at other tax options as lawmakers enter the final stretch of the session.
There are a lot of options on the table right now for lawmakers as everyone seems to have an idea for how the state can raise revenue. Let's start with what Governor Wes Moore is proposing. Let's start with the governor's proposal to tax wealthy Marylanders. The governor wants people making $500,000 or more a year to pay 6.25% annually, which is up from the current rate of 5.75%. And people making $1 million or more, the governor wants you to pay 6.5%. The governor also wants combined corporate reporting while cutting the corporate tax rate to 7.99%, which is down from the current 8.25%. The governor is also calling for a 75-cent fee on home deliveries from large corporations. And if you're worried about companies passing that fee on to you as a consumer, well, I asked the governor about that.
Individual people are not getting taxed for this. These are the corporations that will take on this fee.
How can you be confident that they won't pass that on to the consumers, though?
$2 trillion corporations should not be passing off delivery fees to consumers.
We'll see if that bears out. The governor also wants to increase the casino game tax, double the sports betting tax, and increase the cannabis tax. As all of these taxes pile up, the governor also wants to eliminate the itemized tax deduction while at the same time doubling the standard tax deduction. Now, changing these standard deductions and the itemization is a sticking point for some lawmakers in Annapolis right now, so we'll keep our eyes on it to see if that actually plays out. Over here, we have some of the other options from lawmakers, the Department of Legislative Services, and we're even going to talk about some previous tax proposals that may get revived again this year. Let's start with the most controversial plan, the 2.5% tax on business-to-business services. The business community has been in fierce opposition to this tax proposal. Lawmakers have even floated the idea of making changes already, so we'll keep our eyes on it, put a pin in that to see what actually materializes. Let's take a look at some of the other ideas. Online gambling. It's called iGaming, and it could generate the state up to $200 million a year. A tax on sugary drinks. And in previous years, we've also seen some tax ideas like a tax on guns purchased from federally licensed dealers, an increase in your vehicle excise tax. Now, the Department of Legislative Services has also floated some tax ideas like a salty snack tax, plus increase the tax on high-value property transfers, and eliminate the tax-free back-to-school shopping week in the state. As all of these plans are being debated and we get a little closer to the end of session, Republican lawmakers argue more cuts need to be made to the budget to ensure Marylanders don't see their taxes increased.
Because our colleagues here in Maryland in the Democratic Party really refuse to get serious about cutting from programs that they've instituted over the last 5 or 10 years.
And then there's the blueprint, the education spending plan of the state that still remains one of the biggest unanswered questions this legislative session. Everyone has an idea. Let's start with Governor Wes Moore. The governor has proposed pausing the collaborative time for teachers for 4 years, plus freezing the funding for community schools in areas of concentrated poverty. But over in the House, they restored funding for community schools and they only paused collaborative time for teachers for 1 year. And in the Senate, it looks like the debate is going to continue to heat up. Senate President Bill Ferguson says he expects more changes to be made to the blueprint. Here's what he said on Friday.
Look, I think it will be changed overall because it's part of a larger negotiation about the sustainability of Maryland's finances moving forward.
Everything seems to be on the table right now as more cuts are happening at the federal level when it comes to the workforce, impacting Maryland's bottom line. With revenue dropping in the state and the pressure heating up, we'll be following these plans and looking at how much more lawmakers will be asking you to pay in taxes as we get closer to the end of session. At the Accountability Desk, Mackenzie Frost, Fox 45 News.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.